Hello, welcome back to another episode of Man Up Book. By the time you see this video, hopefully I have picked the name and kept the name for this series. I couldn't decide the first couple videos I shot, but I think by now it should be Man Up Book. Yes, as with other book in this series, there are books, for the most part, I consider myself a very good shopper, very patient shopper, but at the same time, there are books, plenty of books out there that I always advise people. Be ready to pay a fair price. If you're lucky, you might get 5%, maybe 10% below fair market value. Otherwise, you might even have to pay premium to get your hands on one of these books. Okay, there are plenty. Over the past many years, quite a few people have asked me, where can I find a good deal on Amazing Fantasy 15? Whew. Not an easy question to answer, because we all know it's a hot book, it's highly desirable, there are plenty of copies out there, but for the most part, people that have that book, people that have an Amazing Fantasy 15, they know what they have. Okay, they don't need to be advised of what the value is, so they're not gonna be sucker into selling that book for dirt cheap. For the most part, who knows if somebody stumble across a copy of Amazing Fantasy 15 in the attic and then put it up in a garage sale somewhere. Can that happen? Can that scenario happen? Maybe, right? But for the most part, it's hard to find a bargain for something like an Amazing Fantasy 15. Now, this book is not an Amazing Fantasy 15, but it's probably the most recognized, most wanted book for pre-code horror collector, or the PCH, Pacific Coast Highway Collector. So when I dabble into EC, when I jump into the EC pool, I know that this book is gonna be very hard to find for cheap, because everybody know about this book. Even people that don't collect EC know about this book. I knew about this book for years, if not decade. So, is there a chance that I can find this book dirt cheap? The reality is, I kept my eye on this book even before I bought my first EC book. Okay, let me show you. So the question is, how much am I willing to pay for this? And what kind of condition I'm willing to take as far as this book? And this book is expensive when it comes down to EC. Unlike other EC collectors that want mid-grade or want the best copy that they can afford, I'm not in that camp. EC is not my focus. It's something I dabble into since I basically get most of everything I wanted as far as Marvel and DC. So I dabbled into EC in 2018. And because it's not in my focus, not in my high priority, I said to myself, how low am I willing to go? Whenever I look at an EC book that I'm willing to buy, that's the question. How low? First, unrestored. That's number one. Number two, low grade, presentable. That's good enough. Okay? That's good enough. I don't need mid-grade. I don't need high grade. As much as I love Gaines Files copy 9.6, 9.8 razor sharp book that go for thousands, I don't need it, and I don't imagine ever bid for any one of those books. It wouldn't fit with the rest of my EC books that are mostly low to mid-grade range. So for me, as far as looking for this copy, it is about presentable, low to mid-grade, sharp color. Okay, look at this. Sometimes this book have faded red, not bright red. Okay, now this book look nice. It's low grade. It's a 1.5. Okay, it fit perfectly in my presentable low grade book. It's complete. What make it low grade? Detached cover, and the cover is split from here to here where the staple is. That's why it's detached, and split from here to here. So about 2/3 of the cover is split, right from top edge to top staple, bottom edge to bottom staple. Okay, the cover is attached at the midpoint right here. So that's why it's a 1.5, but it looked great. There is sharp corners, as you can see. Okay, back cover complete. There's a tear. There's a fairly, I think, like maybe 3.5-inch tear on the back cover, but it's complete. No chunk missing, and therefore it is a 1.5. Okay, perfectly, and I pay a fair price for this book. I man up for it. I saw it. It fit perfectly in my category of, like, you know, the grade I am looking for, the presentation that I'm looking for. So I man up for this book. I did not get this for cheap. I get this for what I would consider fair market value for a 1.5, and I'm happy with it. I'm content with it. I don't need to go out there and find another copy to replace it. It is the copy for my collection to keep. And that's the end of the episode. Until the next Man Up book. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.